Welcome to AnimeFan Narrations, Solo Leveling, Episode 49.
To the Korean Hunter auction, please.
The driver glanced at him through the rearview mirror, smiling knowingly.
You must have something valuable to sell, huh? They say items there start at a few tens of millions of won.
Jinwoo responded with a slight smile, rather than a word. The driver gulped nervously. By mentioning the hunter auction, Jinwoo had essentially confirmed himself as a hunter, and the driver knew he had to tread carefully. Hunters sometimes had rather unique personalities to match their extraordinary abilities, and upsetting one could lead to trouble.
This young guy doesn't look like the hot-headed type, but it's better to be cautious.
Respecting Jinwoo's silence, the driver remained quiet, and the ride proceeded in an unspoken calm. Jinwoo took the opportunity to browse the internet on his phone. News sites, social media, forums, all were buzzing with the excitement of the newly revealed Rank S hunter. Earlier, Ri Min-sung had dominated the top search rankings, but now his name was nowhere to be seen. Jinwoo clicked his tongue.
Didn't think it'd blow up like this.
He had expected some attention, but the level of frenzy took him by surprise. Then again, with only 10 Rank S hunters in South Korea and 2 of them either deceased or abroad, there were only 8 Rank S hunters active in the country. It was no wonder the public's response was so intense.
But it was so quiet when Cha Hein became a rank S.
Remembering how Cha Hein, the 9th Rank S, managed to stay out of the limelight, Jinwoo had assumed his situation would be similar. A quick search clarified things. Cha Hein had requested the association to keep her information confidential when she was promoted to Rank S, which had effectively kept both the media and guilds from contacting her.
So by simply asking the association, you can make sure the media and even guilds stay out of your business?
If such an option existed, why hadn't the association president mentioned it to him?
Oh.
A memory surfaced of the question he was asked just as he was about to step into the examination room. Back then, the association president had asked him,
"Have you decided on a guild to join?"
No, not yet.
Was that why he'd asked? If he'd requested privacy, then guilds wouldn't have been able to contact him. Perhaps the association president had chosen not to mention it on purpose.
Well, so be it.
Jinwoo submitted a confidentiality request online to the association and then called the Korean Hunter auction.
Thank you for contacting the Korean Hunter auction.
I need an artifact appraised. I'm heading there now. Will that be all right?
Certainly. Could you tell us what kind of artifact you're bringing in?
It's a bead with a magic amplification effect.
A magic amplification item. By the way, if you're already aware of its effects, has it been appraised previously?
It has, but I couldn't fully trust the results, so I wanted the Hunter auction's professional evaluation.
Haha, you've come to the right place. There's no better place for a reliable artifact valuation.
The conversation paused briefly, likely for the person on the line to make a note, then continued.
And could I ask what amplification rate was recorded in the previous appraisal?
100%.
Excuse me?
Yes, it was a 100% amplification.
There was a short silence on the other end before the voice resumed.
Forgive me for asking, but are you a hunter?
Yes.
To proceed with the appraisal, we'll need to confirm the seller's identity. Could I get your rank and name, please?
Jinwoo's lips curled up in a slight smile.
I expected this.
Would the auction even take him seriously if he'd tried selling an artifact like this when he was still a rank E? In a way, his reevaluation was just for moments like this. With confidence, he replied,
I'm rank S. The name's Sung Jinwoo.
Solo Leveling, Chapter 96.
Jinwoo soon arrived at the hunter auction. The building itself wasn't particularly tall but stretched wide, giving it the appearance of a museum or an art gallery rather than an office. Surrounding the structure was an enormous parking lot, practically shouting, "We can handle any crowd, be it hundreds or even thousands." The impressive facility sat squarely in the middle of this vast expanse. It wasn't hard to imagine how lucrative the hunter auction must be, earning a fortune through commissions from artifact transactions. Jinwoo stepped out of the taxi and began walking towards the entrance. However, before he could take more than a few steps, a man in formal attire suddenly appeared, rushing outside to greet him.
You must be Sung Jinwoo Hunter.
Yes, that's me.
The man glanced at Jinwoo's face, his expression momentarily betraying his astonishment. Quickly regaining his composure, he adopted a welcoming tone and addressed Jinwoo politely.
My name is Kim Jong-ki from the appraisal department at the Hunter auction. We spoke on the phone. Please come with me.
Jinwoo gave a slight nod in response. As Kim Jong-ki led Jinwoo toward the appraisal room, his thoughts were in overdrive.
The newly revealed Rank S hunter, who managed to evade the reporters just moments ago, is walking right behind me.
When he first received the call, he thought it had to be a prank. Not only did the artifact's supposed effect sound completely absurd, but the caller also claimed to be the Rank S hunter that had just been announced earlier that day.
I almost insulted a Rank S hunter, didn't I?
He had been utterly terrified after confirming with the Hunters Association that the phone number did indeed belong to Hunter Sung Jinwoo. Thankfully, he had stuck to protocol and refrained from dismissing the call out of hand, a decision he was now immensely grateful for.
Now officially recognized at his new rank, Hunter Sung Jinwoo had soared from rank E to rank S after undergoing the reawakening process. Reports also revealed that he wielded mage-class abilities.
The young man's face was now a regular feature on the TV monitors scattered around the auction house. Jinwoo, seemingly uncomfortable with the excessive attention, tugged his hood low over his face to avoid being recognized. Though the news wasn't about Kim Jong-ki, he couldn't help but feel a touch of pride hearing Jinwoo's name repeatedly mentioned in the broadcast.
Would it be too much to ask for a selfie with him?
He quickly dismissed the idea, shaking his head. If he wasn't working, he might have dared to request a photo and an autograph. However, such behavior would be unprofessional, especially when the client was here for serious business. For now, he had to restrain himself.
Is the walk from the entrance always this short?
Lost in his musings, he realized they had already reached the appraisal room. With a faintly regretful look, Kim Jong-ki gestured toward the door.
This way, please.
Inside the spacious appraisal room, the department head and the company's most skilled appraiser waited, their nerves clearly on edge. They had even skipped lunch to prepare for this moment. The department head's eyes widened in astonishment when Jinwoo walked in.
He really is the guy from the news.
Meanwhile, the appraiser nervously swallowed against the dryness in his throat.
Could the magic amplification artifact actually be...
No, he couldn't jump to conclusions just yet. Just because the hunter himself was genuine didn't necessarily mean the artifact was. The appraiser kept repeating this thought to himself to stay composed. Even the finest magic amplification tool, crafted using top-tier materials by the most skilled artisan in the field, wouldn't exceed a 50% amplification rate. On top of that, sourcing the right materials alone was a daunting task. The labor and time required to create such an artifact were staggering. Spotting one of these rare items on the market, even once every few years, would be considered an incredible stroke of luck. Mage-type hunters across the globe would eagerly wait in ridiculously long queues to get their hands on such rare items. Yet the truth was, there simply weren't any to buy. Actually, you didn't even need to consider the entire world. Even locally, Choi Jong-un, a mage-type hunter famously nicknamed the Ultimate Weapon, had been on a relentless quest to find an amplification artifact with an effect of 50% or higher. And now, a relatively unknown rank S hunter had shown up at the auction, claiming to possess an artifact with a 100% amplification effect?
That's completely absurd.
The whole situation was so unbelievable that if this man weren't a top-ranked hunter, they might have already thrown him out on his backside. But still, they couldn't just turn away a rank S hunter. Even if nothing came of today's visit, someone of his stature was bound to become a valuable client down the line.
There's really no harm in checking this out.
The appraiser, his face reflecting a mix of faint hope and much stronger skepticism, addressed Jinwoo cautiously.
Could I examine the artifact?
Both Kim Jong-ki and the department head fixed their eyes on Jinwoo, their tension palpable.
Sure.
Feigning the motion of retrieving something from his pocket, Jinwoo summoned the Bead of Avarice from his inventory.
So this is it?
The appraiser adjusted his glasses and focused on the crimson, perfectly round bead. Its striking appearance seemed to mesmerize anyone who laid eyes on it, compelling astonished gasps from the onlookers. The two appraisal department officials muttered words of admiration under their breath. Yet, the appraiser tilted his head slightly and adjusted his glasses again, his expression turning contemplative.
This doesn't seem like an artifact crafted from a magic crystal or a monostone, am I correct?
Yes, that's right.
The appraiser gave a small nod.
Just as I suspected.
With 7 years of experience as an appraiser, he had seen an endless variety of artifacts. Yet, in all that time, he had never encountered a crystal radiating such a deep crimson hue as this one. Most crystals generally gave off a clear bluish glow, and their hue deepened with their grade. But this one? It was red? The appraiser continued examining the bead, tilting his head as he tried to make sense of it, before finally taking it in his hands. The moment he did,
What is this?
a sudden chill ran down his spine. The bead exuded an unfamiliar, intense energy that sent shivers through him.
Could this really be?
His heart raced with fear as he gazed at the mysterious artifact. The appraiser wasn't just an expert. He was a rank B mage type awakened. This gave him the ability to instantly sense the extraordinary nature of what he was holding. Beads of cold sweat trickled down his face.
This can't be real.
He was covered in goosebumps, overwhelmed by the sheer power radiating from the bead. His gaze snapped up to Jinwoo, who was watching him silently without a word.
If someone with low rank had brought this here, I might have...
This was entirely new to him. In all his years handling priceless artifacts, he had never experienced anything like this. For the first time, he felt an uncontrollable urge to snatch the item and claim it as his own. But reality quickly set in. His opponent was a rank S hunter. Jinwoo's eyes remained fixed on him, calm yet observant. The appraiser took a deep breath and struggled to compose himself, fighting off the irrational thoughts that had overtaken him.
Did I really just think about robbing a rank S hunter?
Even entertaining such an idea was unthinkable. The disparity in strength between them was too vast to even consider acting on such a foolish impulse. While the appraiser had been scrutinizing the bead, Jinwoo now tilted his head slightly, mirroring the gesture.
What's with this guy?
Was the appraiser unwell? His odd behavior was hard to ignore. Finally pulling himself together, the appraiser wiped the sweat from his forehead and turned to address the department head.
Director, could you please turn on the camera?
Ah, yes, right away.
That request carried significant weight. It was confirmation that the item was not a fake. The department head's heart began pounding in his chest, and Kim Jong-ki, who had first received Jinwoo's call, looked equally tense.
We'll begin recording now.
The department head adjusted the camera, focusing the lens on the appraiser as he prepared to document the extraordinary item.
Thanks for watching Solo Leveling on AnimeFan Narrations. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for updates. Share your thoughts in the comments. See you next time.